One of the most powerful things about sewing is having total control over what your clothes look like and how your clothes fit your body. When you know how to sew, you're not limited to what the stores are selling or what sizes are available. Sewing doesn't only give you control over how you express yourself to the world, it gives you control over how you feel while wearing your clothes. Finding your size can be intimidating. We have to confront very detailed measurements of our bodies, and it's very easy to get caught up in all those numbers. It's important to note that ready-to-wear sizes do not match sewing sizes, so to be sure to use the measurements chart in the pattern to select your size. It's going to vary from pattern company to pattern company. Much like in the last lesson where I gave you 3 tips for picking a project, now I'm going to give you 3 tips for choosing a size when you first start sewing. My goal is to show you how to think about these types of challenges, so you know what information to look out for and how to problem solve when you get stuck. Step 1 is to get your body's measurements. First, let's talk about body measurements for a minute. They are just numbers, data that helps you get a good fit. So be honest with your numbers. They're really powerful tools. The most common measurements, which can take you through many sewing projects, are your bust, waist, and hip. You'll use the measuring tape from your sewing kit that we created in the earlier lesson, and you'll measure these points on your body. If you don't know where to measure, that's okay, just Google it. There are so many helpful tutorials out there. In fact, we have a very detailed video about taking measurements and using ease on our YouTube channel. We'll link it in the classroom too, so be sure to check that out. When you first start sewing, you'll really get to know your bust, waist, and hip measurements because they're the most common measurements referenced when you're picking a size in a pattern. As you sew more and more, you'll pick up new measurements, and pretty soon you'll know all about your across back, your crotch depth, even your bicep circumference, maybe even your ankle circumference. That's pretty cool though, don't you think? Step 2 is to consult your pattern's measurement charts. Every pattern company is different. Here at Seamwork, we draft for a C cup for our misses sizes 0 to 16 and a double D cup for our curvy sizes 18 to 26. Just for reference, our size 8 fit model is 5 foot 8 inches tall. Seamwork patterns have a body size chart and a finished garment measurement chart. The finished measurement chart is one of the most helpful tools in your sewing pattern because it's going to tell you what the garment will measure when you're done sewing. You'll notice that the finished garment measurements are usually larger than the body measurements. Why? Because the garment needs extra room to allow you to move. This extra room is called ease. If you're sewing a pattern that uses stretchy fabric, you might notice that there's negative ease. That's because knit fabrics are meant to cling to the body and move along with us. But if they're woven, we need that extra room so that we can move. So, no matter what, when you begin a project, you're going to compare your body measurements to both the body size chart and the finished garment measurements. If you're in between sizes, the finished garment measurement can help you decide if you want to size up to add more room for movement or more ease, or if you want to size down to make the garment more fitted with less ease. The third step is to think about the type of garment you're making. Pick the measurement that is most important to make that garment fit well. For a top, for example, you might want to pay attention to the bust measurement, because if you get a good fit at the bust, it's easy to adjust the sides to get a good fit at the waist. If you're making a pair of pants, on the other hand, you'd want to take detailed measurements in a couple places, including your waist and your hips. For bow, your bust is the key measurement for choosing your size. Bow has a very boxy silhouette, so it has generous ease at the waist. You don't even really need to worry about your waist and hip measurements. Just take a look and see if they would affect the fit of the garment when you're picking out your size, but focus on the bust. If you aren't sure where to start, pick the size that matches your body measurements the most and then make a muslin. You should be making a test version for almost every garment that you sew anyway, so take a guess and give it a go to see how it fits. You'll never know sometimes unless you just try. After you have your size, check your pattern for the yardage chart. For Seamwork patterns, it's below the size chart. That chart will tell you how much fabric to buy. Sizing and fitting is a really big topic, and I promise that you'll learn more and more as you continue to sew. In the meantime, take your measurements, read your size charts, and pick a size to start with. It really is that simple. And now we're ready to move on to the next lesson, where I will give you tips for cutting and marking your fabric.